new setup. I'm constantly reinvesting the money that I'm earning to make a better stream and make it more pleasant for you guys. So this is the SM7B. It's the microphone that I use right now. The new camera that I've got going on here is the Sony A7C. That's plugged in with a charger. Over here is a Logitech. Just in case if this goes out, I got this one as well. I've got my main screen here. You know, you gotta hit the curve right there. And we've got the secondary monitor just for anything else. Like if I'm bouncing back and forth, and you gotta know what the deal is. We got the light here to make myself look pretty, and then the Rodecaster soundboard. We're operating off a Mac Mini with a hard drive, and then back in the back there, that's where all the hub magic happens. I've got 2 new Pebble speakers. I've got my iPad when I use my drawings and all that kind of stuff, and the earmuffs. What are these called? The in-ears. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys, and we'll start the stream, well, right now. What's going on, Cowboys? Welcome back to the stream. Glad to be here. Right off the bat, I'm just going to start off with a giveaway. So if you are in the room, what's up, get Green Fingers, Hugs, Mike, Thomas, I'm going to give away one Yummy right off the bat within the next like 30 seconds here. I just want to say what's up to everyone. Glad to be back here. CNFTs have been a little dry for me lately, so I've decided to go a little crazy. I'm going to do 3 giveaways today. Massive clearinghouse. I wasn't lying. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to get right into it. How do I link this? I don't even know how to link this. Remove my source. Share my okay. Here are my guests. My guests were a little late, but it's all good. Let me see how do okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna share my screen, entire screen. There we go. Okay, guys, before we get going here, I gotta welcome my guest here back to the channel, my partner in crime. This man is a crypto bull. Always keeps his bags full, taking profits on the moon, eating them up like a spoon. NFTs always got his hands full. He is the one, the only, the crypto warden. Ethan, welcome back to the channel.
What's going on, guys? It's another great Tuesday. You guys know how I always feel about Tuesdays, man. I mean, it's been a little bit different the past couple weeks. Obviously, we haven't been on, but as always, super excited to be on. Nice little hour of CNFT Tuesday, just general topic Tuesday. Let's go, baby.
Good to have you. I promised a giveaway, and I'm here to deliver. Right now, I'm looking in the back right now, so if you can see what I've got going on, it's like JPG store stuff. I was doing some research on like pet bot, so I think I'm just gonna give a pet bot, but I did say I'm gonna give away Yummy, just so you know what a Yummy is doing right now. We're gonna do how much
What's
are
up,
Yummies?
Green?
What's that?
Green Finger said, "What's up in the chat?" I was just saying, "What's up to my
Oh,
dog?"
what's up, man? What's up, man? I don't know what this is. I was looking at I had some Yummy steak, but I'm gonna give one of these guys away. I don't know.
Hey,
What is that? Is that a summer Yummy?
yeah, those are your seasonal ones. I think those are your summers.
Summer Yummies. How much do those go for? Let's see here. Okay, that's a
So
floor is
135.
135 here. Okay, so this is not, this is a pretty good. I think this is a good NFT. I mean, I don't know about you, Ethan. What's your take on Yummy so far?
Yummy's actually one of those projects that when we actually first got into the CNFT space, we really enjoyed. Um, but the most interesting part about Yummy right now for me is I just want to see how it kind of like survives because we're kind of in like this space where I believe that we're going to see these bigger projects start to fold as they obviously aren't seeing the results that they want to get.
Mm-hmm.
I think Yummy is one of those in those waters where we'll see if they survive or not.
I'm disappointed, dude. I'm disappointed is what I really am.
Me too.
I don't mean to be like, you know, over the top about this, but I am. I don't like that Yummy hasn't done anything. I mean, like it's just and there's a lot of projects out there that's the same way. And so I'm not being harsh or critical on Yummy per se, but it is the whole CNFT. Well, a lot of the CNFT space. Not all of it. Not all of it. Some of it's actually really good. So let's get to this. I'm gonna create something. Yeah, Goofy is a good one. I like Goofy Go. So I just saw like a
Goofy Sweet. Yeah.
400%. That gets. I like that. I just think it was so overhyped to me. Like I'm deciding to verge away from what Tal was saying and from what F35 boys were saying. Like there's something off about Yummy in the first place that I didn't like. They were calling themselves the next Pokemon, and I don't like when people do that. It just doesn't make sense. All right. So everybody, let's not delay. Okay, I've got the screen up here. We're gonna do a game of Pictionary. Okay, so hopefully, if Ethan gets it first, he gets to pick anyone in the chat to to gets it, or if I see it in the chat, then they get to do it. Okay, hopefully it'll be easy. I'm just trying to offload this yummy because I'm so disappointed in it. So here we go. This is for anyone who is interested. Anyone know what this is so far? Okay. Anyone know what this is so far? What do you think this is, Ethan? I'm gonna give you like three
Bro,
guesses. Don't be guessing. Don't be guessing so fast.
that's why I ain't guessing, because your drawings are always horrendous.
This is great. This is a great drawing, dude.
I got Pastor Scott's stick figure drawings over this, boy, let me tell you.
This is like legit, dude. This is like come on, tell me that's not good. Oh, we got our
Well,
second.
I don't know what it is. That's why I ain't even gonna say nothing.
Here we go, dude.
All right, it's some type of what face? It's like some type of rat. Is it a mice? I mean, I'm not.
No, look. No, look.
Unless you're trying to draw a gopher.
That's exactly what it is. It is
Oh
a
my
gopher. It is a
gosh!
goofy
I need to
gopher.
pull up some goofy gophers and see where I
Come
see some
on, tell
whiskers
me
on
that's
any
not
of these.
good. Hugs Not
Bro,
Rugs just got it, but yeah, that 100% is an A-class goofy gopher. Let me see if I can pull this up
I
here.
need to see some
Oh, it is?
A-class whiskers
Okay.
on goofy gophers because
I
I
just
see
saw
zilch.
I just saw our other guest here pull up. Hold on. But
Hey,
yeah, so that is the goofy gopher here. Let me just take this off. Boop. Oh no, hold on. Let me get this. Let me shrink that down and see this is how we do things around here. All right, let's go take a look at these goofy gophers. Gophers. I like this, dude. I'm not giving away my goofy gopher. That was freaking good.
oh yeah,
Go send me.
yeah. But if you could show me one that has whiskers on it, I'll personally
Oh, I drew it
send
the
you
wrong
whoever you
way. I
want.
drew it the wrong way. Right there. You'll what? You'll personally what? You'll personally what?
That's not
Those
whiskers.
are whiskers right there, dude. You'll
Yo,
personally
that's
what?
not even near his nose.
That's exactly on his nose, dude.
Is
Those are
the
whiskers.
trait named Whiskers?
I don't
Yo,
know.
I'm gonna be a hater. I'm gonna be a hater. I don't see nothing.
That's a whisker, dude. That's a whisker.
Bro, that's not a whisker.
Those are 100% whiskers, dude.
Nah, chat, you guys gotta help me out, bro. That is not a whisker.
Dude, they're on every goofy gopher. Look at this one. Tell me that's not a whisker.
I don't know, bro. Let
Those
me
are.
look at a picture of a gopher, bro.
You think that's a mustache?
Two gophers
Dude, it's on
have whiskers.
it's on every single one of them, bro. It's on every single one. Listen, I'm gonna give this one to Hugs Not Rugs. Hugs, if you could send me your wallet in the Discord, you won summer Naru, yummy
Oh
thing.
nah. Gophers have whiskers, bro. Oh no. Not good.
Yeah, what did you do? What did you do? All right, guys.
I looked it up on Google, bro. I
Yeah,
set
they
myself
got
up.
whiskers. What would you say you were gonna do?
I'll eat a cricket.
Yeah. Look, let's stop this nonsense. All right, let's bring on our guest here. This is silly. Hugs. Congratulations. Just be sure to send that to me. Now, our next guest here just came into the studio building. We see him crack open the exit doors, and I see the light streaming behind his portfolio, his silhouette. When you are sleeping, he builds, leaving the competition like a chicken, grilled. Always on the move, VyFi. I approve. Invest in him, and you'll have your bags filled. The one, the only, Stephen Ward from VyFi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, mate. I always love your rhymes.
Of course, of course. Is there anyone else who gives out those type of intros other than me? Come on.
Absolutely not. I do apologize. My webcam, I left it at my dad's house, actually. My actual webcam. So I'm using my shitty stock camera. So I look grainy as shit.
It looks like I gotta unfog my lens or my eyes.
Yeah,
yeah. So I got to unfog my lens. See if that actually does it. Thank you so much for having me on as always, Aaron.
Yeah. Oh, what happened? You sound like a robot a little bit. What just happened?
Oh, did I sound like a robot? Oh no.
Yeah, I think it messed up your audio a little bit.
It messed up your volume or mic. It was sounding good before, but I'm not sure I don't know. You just cleared it up. I'm not sure what just happened.
All right. Can I suck really hard and re-enter?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, no problem.
Leave and come back in.
All good. No problems here. Dang, you got handsomer, dude. Did you guys see that? He got really handsome over there. I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not gonna give away. I drew a gopher. I'm not giving away gopher. Those things are worth 700. I think they'll get to 1,000, maybe. And I want to see what they do. I want to see what they come out with. I want to see what kind of miners they buy. I want to see like, I'm really into mining right now, so I want to hold on to those gophers. Did you guys see? Did you guys see the video I did with the bandit when we undid those miners, the neo miners? All right, how you doing?
Let's try that again.
That sounds okay. That sounds pretty good. That sounds all right.
I
Oh, that
apologize,
sounds,
guys.
that sounds a little better. That sounds a little better.
Um,
So yeah, I'm just a
Thank you
little
so much for having me
disappointed.
on.
Oh yeah, no, of course, dude, absolutely. Every time you come on, we talk macro and stuff like that. So we need to make a macro Monday or something like that. I do meme coin Monday sometimes, and I need to start being grown up and do macro money. Um, but yeah, let's get into like what's beneficial for people who are in the room here. What are you guys doing right now with crypto? Are you guys in NFTs, CNFTs, Bitcoin? Any recent moves, Warden or Steven? And tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing in the crypto space.
Just recently, for me at least, I've been super blessed by God to have been able to get a couple Bitcoin NFTs on the Ordinals marketplace. Just airdropped to me for free just because I got in super early. So I've been able to sell those. So I made about $4,000 in Bitcoin. So I've been super excited about that.
Jeez Louise. Ethan, $4,000 in Bitcoin airdrop to you with no regard for like
Yeah.
tokenomics or anything. So how long did it take you to sell what you got airdrop? Tell us what happened.
Okay, so I originally started by transferring an ADA over. Urban did his first wave of the Satoshi knots, is what he calls them, and so I just kind of was holding it there. I got blessed by I got airdropped a Pixel Pepe, and so those have actually blown up in the past couple of weeks. I sold it for probably about 0.1 of a Bitcoin. At the time, Bitcoin was worth 30K, so that's about $3,000.
Wow.
And then Urban actually did some more airdrops. I got one of the clay eggs that he does, and I was like, Bitcoin's Bitcoin to me. I'm selling these NFTs. So I got rid of that egg for another $500 in Bitcoin, and I'm chilling right now. I've been super blessed by God, and I'm so grateful for it.
Are you trying to work your way up to a Bitcoin here?
I mean, I'm following in your standards where you traded up to a Bitcoin. I'm like, same way here.
Trade up to a Bitcoin, man. I think that's a good goal.
Crypto Warden, don't you have a Bitcoin?
I do not know, sir.
But you're in crypto.
I know. I've been in crypto for about a year now. I'm working my way up, though. It's a work in progress.
Definitely something that you should aim for. Like getting your first Bitcoin is such a satisfying moment. I hit my first Bitcoin because I didn't want to just buy Bitcoin outright, which was so stupid. Because when I was looking at it, was like $1,000, $2,000 when I started. I was like, I'm going to trade myself up to a Bitcoin, and it took me about a year and a half to trade myself up. So I got my first Bitcoin in 2018. It was such a satisfying feeling.
It's so nice because when everything is like that scarcity mentality, for especially like everyone's inflating the money, all these central banks and stuff like that. When you own a Bitcoin, it just feels like, yeah, this is it. This is the future. I mean, like 100 years from now, I don't know how long it's going to take. Maybe hopefully sooner than that, but I already know this.
Yeah, it almost feels like a retirement fund, doesn't it? It's kind of like I've got that there. There's only like 22 million of them. People really want them, and I'm just going to sit here and hold it forever.
And the demand is going to grow. Like that demand is going to grow. The more they inflate, the more that demand's going to grow. The more they start cheating people, the more all that nonsense is happening, that demand is going to grow.
Let's hope. Let's hope. I'm really worried about CBDCs coming in.
Worried about that.
Yeah, CBDCs aren't as interesting as Pepe. I'm sorry, green fingers. I'm really nervous about them though. Like seeing the way that America's really planning on implementing them, the way in which Australia is building one right now, it's really worrying, particularly in a country like Australia, where I'm certain they're going to be using it to enact measures of control.
Yeah. I'm not too sure on how they're going to implement them in the United States. I know they're building them. I know that it's testing. I know that it might be coming out this summer, actually. I don't know how they're going to implement.
We don't know how they're going to implement yet either. Like they'll all be rolled out as testers, where you'll essentially be able to get a wallet and you'll be able to exchange some money for it, and you'll be able to be on some sort of tester program. It won't be rolled out to the public, of course. But with regards to their implementation, I think America might be a bit better about it because America's got fairly strong laws surrounding freedoms. Well, I mean, apart from all their laws surrounding regulations, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Whereas Australia's a very nanny state. You know, I fully expect, like, Australia's already got laws that, for example, if you're on unemployment, they give you a card and you're only allowed to spend that unemployment on certain things, right?
Yep.
And the way in which that's implemented, of course, is implemented in such a manner that it's most heavily impacting the Aboriginals, the Native Australians, right? Because essentially, because they make up, unfortunately, they make up a large portion of our people receiving social welfare. So essentially, they've just implemented this control measure on our Indigenous population, saying, yeah, we give you money, but you're not allowed to spend it how you want. And I'm certain that things like that, our government is certainly going to institutionalize into the code of this money, right? Things such as, if you're receiving welfare, we give it to you as a CBDC, and you're not allowed to spend that money on alcohol. If we see you spending that money on alcohol, we're going to reduce your payment for the next one, and we're going to hard code it so that you can't buy alcohol. Right?
That makes a ton of sense right there. Yeah.
As an example. And that's something that scares the shit out of me, because you start with one thing, where do you move to next? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
And like, Australia's got one of the harshest laws in the world surrounding computer games, for example. Right? We don't have an R rating for computer games. So a lot of computer games get banned in Australia. What, like, would they be able to institutionalize versions of, like, not letting me buy computer games online because they're able to say that I'm buying a computer game using a CBDC, and they're going to say, no, we're not going to let you do it because that computer game's illegal in Australia?
Yeah.
You know, there's so many worrying aspects. Like, and that sounds small, right? But you add it together with all the ways that they can now physically control how you can spend your money through the implementation of CBDCs, and I become very worried.
Yeah, I'm more worried about how they use it for, like, political stuff, like oh, you donate to this fund, audit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm more worried about that, like the shadow stuff. Not that they could ban what is already against the law. If Australia's law is that, I mean, it's a dumb law in my opinion, but I think people can vote with their feet and move to a different country. However, I'm more worried about how they would use CBDCs underhandedly, and be like, hey, I see you're spending a lot of money at the right wing Republican store. Looks like you're gonna get audited or something, or whatever it is.
That one, they say, that's interesting. I'm a lot less worried about. I guess that depends on the environment, right? That is very much a political thing. I'm not too worried about that in Australia, and I live in Australia, so yeah, I can see something like that take place in the American political environment, because you guys have got a lot of people monitoring, and you guys love monitoring your people and reacting accordingly. Like, your NSA is insane.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm more worried about. But here's the thing: I think that if your CBDCs, when they come out, I think it's bullish for Bitcoin. I think, actually, contrarian, people are gonna look at CBDC and be like, why would I want to partake in that CBDC nonsense when I could just buy Bitcoin and then, off a Lightning network and just operate there?
I'm not sure about the contrarian stance like that, in the sense that users, when you get offered a CBDC, are going to be implemented in such a way that hopefully you'll be able to use it in day-to-day society, right? That's the point. So I don't know if Bitcoin will necessarily be a viable alternative for, like, shopping or for, like, buying things. So I don't know if it'll draw in a crowd in that sense. Where I think it'll really help draw in a crowd is that it'll normalize the technology amongst people. So, like, your average 37-year-old truck driver who's been driving a truck for the last 20 years is now going to get a wallet on his phone.
Yep.
Right? And he's never had a wallet on his phone before, but now that he's got a wallet on his phone, he's going to say, oh, well, I've heard of this Bitcoin thing, and I got a wallet on my phone now to get paid. I mean, I may as well get some Bitcoin now that I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think if we look at Bitcoin right now, we'll see that what does this chart tell you? Steven, before I even start to talk some nonsense into this, what are you looking at? What are we thinking at as far as the chart? Do you do technical analysis at all? I'm sure you do.
I do heaps of technical. Like, yeah, I worked at a hedge fund.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. So yeah, what is this? What are we looking at here?
That's the yearly. You know what I'm always going to say, right? You need to pull up the bonds.
Mm.
You need to pull up the bond. You need to pull up the bond, the yield curve, and you need to pull up the. I would also say ARTA Bitcoin would also be interesting. And so looking at this, right? Looking at this, you look like you've got a descending. You've got a descending wedge, right? A descending wedge is a bearish signal. That is on the daily.
Do you believe that this is a bear?
It's as I said, it's a descending wedge, so it's a bearish signal. I'm not going to say that it's a bear, but at the same time,
I just want to know where your head is at with the market, right? Like, I want to know how are you looking at the market? What are you doing?
I'm fairly neutral. Like, first of all, it is also because I got so much work right now, I just don't have time to be actively managing trades. So because we just launched VyFi, like in the last 2 weeks, we've gone from no DEX to now a DEX and farms. And furthermore, though, my head in the market is a fairly neutral one, right? At the moment, we're being led by macroeconomic conditions. We're not being led by internal market conditions within crypto, right? So exactly as Mandatory Mario Kart Artist said, I love your name, by the way, Mandatory Mario Kart Artist.
I was about to say
it has absolutely no idea which way to go, right? What we are seeing though, whilst it doesn't know which way to go, we are seeing lower highs, right? At the same time, we're not seeing lower lows though, right? The lows are staying fairly consistent. If you go back to the daily, right? Well, we might just be hitting one now, but in general, we've got that support line at 27 that we occasionally fade past, and we fade past it a few times, but that support line on 27 is fairly strong. So what we've got to understand, I think, as a 27.5, that is, sorry. What I think we've got to understand as a whole, right, is what is the conditions with the war? You know, what's happening with Russia and Ukraine? As always, that's going to be leading here. Ukraine is doing some incredible stuff right now. So what's happening in that war? That war is leading a lot of markets right now, right? Because you've got this war that's essentially pushing Russia and a lot of other powers to try and build their own currency outside of the US dollar to push away from the hegemony, right, of the US dollar. That was the big, the BRIC nations are trying to build their own currency now.
Yeah.
BRIC, by the way, is
Brazil,
I don't want to stop this
Russia,
Brazil, India, Russia, and China. Yeah. Now, this is the leader in the markets, right? Everything in the markets, interest rates, inflation, everything right now is being led by sentiment on that war. And you're seeing it more and more as commodity markets are starting to recover. As commodity markets are starting to recover, you're seeing that the general attitude is mostly going towards how easily am I going to be able to move my money around the world in 5 years' time? Right? That's the big question in macro right now. Is the world hegemony going to slowly be replaced with a new one where we've got multiple world currencies? Or are we going to be able to maintain the US dollar hegemony? Or are we going to have some kind of split system where we've got each of the currencies sort of acting in their own islands? These questions are really unsure right now, but we've got a lot of countries that are trying to push for a new system, right? CBDCs are coming in on one side. You've got the BRIC nations trying to build their own currency on the other. A gold-backed is what they want to try and build.
Yep.
All this uncertainty in base currency itself, right, is basically leading to us saying, I don't even know how to price a currency right now, right? Like, I don't even know what really the value of the British pound is right now. I don't really know what the value of the US dollar is right now because there's so much uncertainty in what's going on.
Sure.
So if I don't know how to price, and to what, Mandatory Mario Kart Artist is saying, if I don't know how to price, the US dollar correctly right now, how am I going to know how to price a Bitcoin?
Yeah. So you're saying that there's all these uncertainty. You have the war, you have BRICS, you have the inflation, and you got CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, for anyone who is wants to know about that. And so these are all kind of competing forces, and so Bitcoin is like down underneath all of that, being kicked around like by these humongous waves. That is I like that. I like that perspective on this. It seems like, in our world, crypto, Bitcoin is like the king, but in like the real world, Bitcoin is like this little stepchild runt that's just kicked around and like no one.
Like, the greatest analogy I like to use is Bitcoin is the same size. Sorry, is smaller than Apple.
Yeah.
All
Sure
of
is.
cryptocurrency is smaller than Apple.
Sure is.
Right. So that means that the entire market that we're basing our life on, at least I certainly do, the entire market that we base our life on is worth less than one home computer company.
But it's the biggest, though.
Yeah, sure. But there's also competitors out there. What I mean is that it doesn't represent the whole market.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't even represent that whole market, and we're smaller than just one company in that market.
True. This is very true.
Mhm.
This is very true. That's
Right.
that's a big one. That's sobering thought. But while we rest on that, there's some other things to talk about here. We want to talk about what is happening on Cardano. Something I want to bring up here, personally, was Slum Doge Millionaire saying he's on Cardano. He's looking at these snack and bank, and I'm not in snack. I'm not in bank. He said he made a 2x on it, $1,000 or whatever, $2,000. Good for him. Hopefully he holds and he sells and takes profit this time. What's the action on Cardano for you? Is meme coins like playing a role in what you guys are thinking about Cardano? Warden, are you involved? Do you want to be involved in stuff like Snack and these meme coins? Where's Cardano in the development stages right now?
I mean, right now I'm currently not involved in any of them. I have heard a lot of rumblings, as I like to say, around them, but I think it's just very interesting just to see the numerous meme coins that have popped off recently. I mean, you have Snack, you have the other one on Cardano, you have Pepe that's even made a little bit of a run, even though it's kind of settled down now. But it's very interesting, especially in kind of like the area that we all believe that we're in, to see these coins popping off just out of nowhere. I always find meme coins so funny just because they're so random.
It's a gamble, dude. It's just such a big
Yep,
gamble. Who freaking
exactly.
knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
Steve,
If you gamble correctly, you win a lot of money.
where do you think Cardano's best building? What's the future of Cardano look like?
Hopefully not meme coins. I've got really mixed feelings about it, right? Like, meme coins are really good for bringing people to Cardano. So in terms of building an audience that's looking at our blockchain, yeah, it's great. Cardano overall, and I would say more than just Cardano, blockchain overall, is trying to replace an existing financial system. And it's really hard to replace an existing financial system and try to do it in a manner that's reasonable when most people in crypto are interested in a JPEG picture of a snack. And when you've got the situation, you laugh, but it's really difficult, right? Like, how the fuck am I supposed to go to Wall Street and be like, hey guys, got an idea for you, JPEG picture of a snack, right? And it's yeah, sure, it's great for popularity. It's horrible for institutional adoption. It's absolutely horrid for interest in big money. I'm not talking about some rich kids that have been given a couple of million from their dad. I'm talking about people that manage institutional levels of wealth, right? They're not going to touch Snack with a 10-foot pole. They don't touch Doge with a 10-foot pole. You'd be stupid to, right? So what this actually does in the long term, if it doesn't calm down and roll into something utile, is it damages the reputation institutionally of blockchain further. And it's not helpful for the integration of this into actual mechanisms within our society in the way in which we want to implement crypto to help the world and fix the problems that we have.
Let me see if I could package what you just said. You're saying you're torn, you're split-minded about this because on one hand, it brings a lot of people Cardano, Snack, these meme coins. It brings a lot of eyes and stuff like that. However, for the original purpose of Cardano to replace a monetary financial system rather, and for people like you who are building to replace how the mechanics of a financial system works, it's horrid because it reduces the reputation for institutional money to come into Cardano. That it's actually adding as a barrier for incoming liquidity for you because there's this little snake guarding the door. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, essentially, and more so than that, it further pushes the idea that's already held in institutions that crypto is stupid for stupid people that are doing stupid stuff and gambling. Right now, it's all good and well to, like, I mean, in Wall Street and in the financial world, they do stupid stuff and gamble all the time, right? But they'll sit there and they'll tell you, I'm not doing stupid stuff and gambling. I'm setting up an iron condor on my synthetic CBD, on my synthetic CFD structures, right? So they're able to package it in such a way that, you know, they're gambling in a suit. They sound smart and they sound like they're doing something sophisticated. That's what the institutional financial world likes. They like sophistication. And I'm not saying that to be, you know, that's a judgment on them for whatever you want.
It's just reality.
But if you want to, it's just reality, right? If you want to encroach on that world, you require a certain level of sophistication to the way in which you're engaging, right? And having meme coins continuously kick off like this just reduces the image of sophistication in crypto when there are a lot of businesses doing a lot of sophisticated things.
Fair points, man. Fair points. Yeah, I totally understand.
But by the way, I should say this. I'm not trying to hate on Snake. I bought Snake myself. Right? So like,
you bought Snake. You bought Snake. Oh, you're flaming Snake to the ground, and you bought it.
2 or 3 days after the launch. I only bought in 2 or 3 days after the launch. I sold 3/4 of it when I was at like 10x, and then I've kept the rest just for a bit of a run. And the 3/4 I sold of it, I used that to actually start the Snake Arta pool on VyFi. That's how I started the Snake Arta.
Well, that's good. It's a good thing. Let's transition. Speaking of VyFi, which by the way, guys, I need to do one more giveaway. It's about the 30-minute mark. Before we get going here, I do want to talk about VyFi. So I want you to talk about VyFi with me.
Let's do the giveaway first. I'm excited.
But we do got to do a giveaway. I'm gonna draw the something here, and I'm gonna give out, let's say, a pet bot. And then I'm going to give out a yummy at the end of this. So that's 3. So I give out a yummy to Hugs. I'm going to give it a pet bot right now. And then I'm going to give a yummy again at the end of the hour here. So you guys know the deal. Steve and Warden, you guys try to guess what it is. If you guys guess it, you guys get to give it to someone in the chat. Whoever you want, active, not active, whoever. And in chat, if you want to just don't want to leave it a chance, you just got to guess it yourself. Here we go.
Everyone wants a VyFi gold, man. You're not the only one. I want a VyFi gold.
I think I have a purple or a white. I think I have those two.
Yeah, you got. I'm gonna go with fairy.
No.
That's a good guess, though.
Wait, what was it?
Is it George Washington?
George Washington, dude, you are on point today.
All right, as usual, I'd like to thank my mom. I'd like to thank the Academy because I hate Pictionary. I want Hangman back. I stand by it. I still #bring back Hangman. I stand by it, but that's okay. I'll take my hot streak.
Chopping down the cherry tree. Ethan, go ahead and hand it off to somebody.
I'll give it to my dog, Green Fingers. First one in since we've been back for the past couple weeks. So, GF, congrats, bro.
Green Fingers and Hugs, you guys. So Green Fingers, you get the pet bot, and then Hugs, you get the yummy. Okay. I'm gonna give away one more yummy at the end of this hour here. So don't stress, don't fret. We're gonna get that to you guys. All right, yeah. So talk to me a little bit about what's going on with VyFi here. You said you put up a pool over there. What's been the latest development on there? Speaking of someone who's trying to build.
God, we've got so many pools up. Yeah, go to go to the app, of course. So our Dex is up.
Uh-oh. Really quick, can you give me, like, if someone's not familiar with VyFi, could you just give a quick rundown of what VyFi is?
Yeah. So VyFi is a DEX on Cardano. We do things slightly differently. We use the fees from the DEX to buy back our own token, and then we distribute that token to holders of VyFi, right? And they're able to put that into the bar. They're able to put VyFi in the bar, and they're distributed a portion of the fees from our DEX, and that's what our bar is. Our bar's been doing really well. So the current APY on our bar is 43.36%. I'm super happy with it. The 30-day return is 3.56. So, you know, that allows you to basically put VyFi in, and then when you send it to the bar, it mints you X VyFi. And because you still hold that X VyFi, and I actually, let's explain the mechanics here for a moment. To engage, you put VyFi in, and it mints you X VyFi, and then you get X VyFi in your wallet. Every time these things you see scrolling across the top, they're serves. So every time we collect a certain amount of fees, we use those fees to buy VyFi back off the market, and then we deposit that VyFi to the bar without minting any tokens, right? So no X VyFi is minted. When we do it without minting any X VyFi, that means the total amount of VyFi in the bar goes up, right? So you can see that TVL has got 2.65 million X VyFi, but 2.73 million VyFi. So that means when you come back to trade your X VyFi for the VyFi, right, you're now going to have more VyFi in there than what you started with. So at the moment, you can see that one VyFi is equal to 0.97 X VyFi, and that started at a 1-to-1, right? So it began as a 1-to-1, and now one X VyFi gets you about 1.25, 1.24.
So you're going to get back, you put in VyFi, you get X VyFi, but after some time, the ratio will go up, benefiting the VyFi holder, and you're going to make more off the trade, probably depending on what the percentage is, you know, at any given time.
Yeah, and what's most important about this, right, is that all this VyFi that you're earning is sustainable. It's coming from VyFi that's been bought off of the market using fees that have been earned on the platform.
Okay.
So that means that it's not a price dump, it's price neutral, because this is all paid for VyFi.
Okay.
Right.
Mike Thomas has a question here. Have you tried the lottery? I have not. I don't even know what's going on with this lottery. What the heck is this? What's going on?
This is the lottery. The lottery is, you buy lottery tickets, and if you win, you win a lot. It's actually, the lottery prize has gotten pretty big now.
I don't have Wi-Fi. I need to get some Wi-Fi.
You do need to get some Wi-Fi. Look at that. You can go to our DEX and get it right now. So we've now got ourselves 10 million TVL on our site, on our DEX, which is amazing. We're super proud of ourselves for that. It's taken us what, 2 years to build it, and to be able to get 10 million TVL in the first 10 days is incredible. So thank you so much for the community that's partaken in this. And thank you so much to everybody that has gotten involved in our DEX. You know, it's been an incredible launch. Farming has started. So if you go home, we've got stakeless LP farming as well, which is one of our original
which is amazing. God, that stuff is amazing right there.
Yeah, so if you add liquidity to any of these pools, you essentially just have to hold the LP token and you'll be farming. And that actually allows us to do things such as layer 2 LP tokens. So if you scroll down a little, you'll see one which is ADA Plus. Oh, just a second. Scroll down a little bit more and it'll auto load. There it is. There it is. ADA Plus ADA VyFi LP. So that's an L2 LP. So what that basically means is that to get into this liquidity pool, you need to add the ADA VyFi liquidity pool token. So the liquidity pool that's at the very top, you need to add LP to that and get the LP token. And then you can take ADA and you can add it to that layer 1 liquidity. And when you put them together, right, now what you found is that you've got an LP pool for liquidity. So could you just go to your trade, please? So if you go to DEX, right? What this means, if you go select token, actually, you could run this live. We can actually do this right now. Could you just type in LP into the search?
What do I type?
LP. Boom. So just let's do, you can do either ADA, WMT, X-VyFi, or VyFi. So decide which one you're interested in, and then I want to show you this process. You can sell it straight after. Perfect. So now let's say buy 50 Cardano's worth or 20 Cardano's worth. I want to show you what happens. Because you're essentially buying the LP, which is the liquidity pool token, off of the market, right? So continue. And then hide your screen again, of course. This is definitely not just a way to get you to buy our tokens.
I am down for trying anything.
Now we just have to give that a moment for it to get back. In the meantime, while we're waiting for a moment for that to get back, could you just click on vaults for me, please? So we've of course got our community vaults that you've only got staked only. Could you unclick staked only, please? That little green thing. Yeah, perfect. So we've got our community vaults. If you go filter by project, actually, please. So these are all the projects that we've got, right? So we've got a lot of projects on there. You've almost certainly got a project there, right? So definitely come and have a look to see if you have any projects there, and get involved. These are basically just community vaults that allow people in the community to access their project's tokens through NFTs, or see, like you've already earned 900 IDP from your 2 IDO passes.
Okay. I don't know what I'm getting. This is news to me. Golly, how many times am I going to put this thing in?
Look at that, stacking earnings on our side.
It's okay, Aaron. Your password's only 1, 2, 3, 4, so it works out.
It is a made-up word of a different language. I have security on security.
Now, if you go back to home, hopefully, and scroll up to the top. Oh, no, we're still waiting. So actually, open up see where you see that 2? If you open that up for me, please. Yeah, recent transactions. You're going to see that you've got on order, you've got both of those, right? So we're essentially just waiting for both of those to go through. They should go through within a minute. It generally doesn't take more.
There goes one.
There we go. One of them already went through. Bang. Okay. So you've just done your trade for VyFi. Now in another 30 to 45 seconds, we're going to have that LP come through. Once we've had that LP come through, refresh your screen, and you're going to already be able to see yourself farming.
Oh my goodness, seriously?
Yeah.
Hold on, I got to play the lottery really quick. This is something I got to do. How much did I buy? I bought VyFi.
100. So you can get 4. You can get 4 tickets.
Is it hard? I think it's hard. I'm gonna buy 2.
It's a lottery.
Well, I don't know.
It's all luck.
It's not it's a 1 in 30, 1 in 64,000 is your chances of winning the grand prize.
Those are good odds. You should take those.
YOLO. Whatever. Oh my gosh.
YOLO 420 blaze it.
Dude, would you imagine if I won? That would be crazy. I'd flip out of my...
Man, if you won, I would get you on a special show so we could talk about it.
You could just watch this one. It's like
if you open up details for me for a second, click the details button. If we have a look, at the moment, if you match all 4, you get 10,600 VyFi, right? I would say we get a match 3 winner every somewhere between 3 and 4. So every 3 to 4 lotteries, we get a match 3. Okay. Every second lottery, we get a match 2, approximately. Okay. Right. So even probably more often, every lottery we get a match 2. It's pretty uncommon not to get a match 2. And as for match 1s, every lottery we get somewhere between sort of 20 and 100 match 1s.
I hope I win. How do I know if I won or not?
Scroll up a little. Oh, wait, scroll down. Sorry, wrong direction. Check now. So after the countdown's complete and the lottery's finished, you press check now. You get the little confetti that pops up, and you'll find out if you won. Not yet. It hasn't been, what's it called? Collected yet. I mean, drawn yet. Go to the top and you'll see the counter. It's drawn on Friday. 2 days.
Okay. So I got to come back there. All right, no problem. Let's see if this is.
Now, go to home now. So that should be complete now. Go to home. Boom. And boom, there you are. Estimated daily reward, 0.052212 VyFi.
Where's that?
So when that next cycle reaches 0, it's going to go to pending rewards. You have to hold our LPs for 2 days before the rewards become available to you. Right? So keep that LP in your wallet for 2 days, and then that's going to go all the way to available rewards, and you'll be able to press harvest and earn it.
Okay, so I have a skeptical mind. How do I? What's the downside of this? Is there impermanent loss? Is there what's going on here?
Well, you're holding an LP token, right? So you just bought into a liquidity position, right? So you bought into a token that's 50% X VyFi and 50% VyFi. When we put that together, right? What it's essentially saying is that as the price of X VyFi changes, you're going to have impermanence. That's why.
Does everyone know what LP farming is? Okay, let me. What we're doing.
Describe it.
What we're doing is we're adding liquidity to a pool. So okay, so Anna, hold on. I gotta. This is one of those things, Steven. And you're gonna have to help me out here because I'm not exactly the world's greatest, describer of this. But essentially, when trading, there are market makers. Okay, like in stocks and like the real world, there are people who are like, hit those big trading floors. They're like, yeah, how'd you get this order? This. In crypto, it's what's called an automated market maker, so that there's a big bucket, big pool, and in that pool, it if someone puts an order in, it automatically calculates how to sell that order from one other side. They do that by liquidity tokens. These tokens are 50% one coin and 50% another coin, and that's what it has a liquidity pool. So you'll see all these different liquidity pools in Uniswap or whatever, Pancake Swap, and here, right, and VyFi, and so it's basically a pool of people putting in liquidity. And the reason why people would do that is because they earn back yield for supplying that pool with tokens, with what we call liquidity. Okay, that's my lizard brain of describing it. I don't know if that's a better way or not.
You pretty much nailed it, right? So you add liquidity. So people are able to use that liquidity to trade between the tokens that are inside that pool. And in return, you get given a reward in that base token. But it means that you're taking on the currency risk of the underlying currency.
Very important to know, okay? Because there's two schools of thought here, right? If we're doing liquidity farming, is that one, you can either just hold a token and expect the market to go up, brings up the value of your token. However, when you have two coins there, one coin could do well or not well, and then you suffer a loss just by you holding both. But you also suffer gain because you earn the yield back, but you also suffer what's called impermanent loss when you suffer a loss on the price of the coins that you subject into the liquidity token. Is that about accurate?
Yeah, the way that I like to describe impermanent loss is so if I have two tokens, right? I'm going to try and keep it as lizard brain as possible, because this can get really complex.
Absolutely.
Really fast.
Yeah. You see me? I'm trying to. I'm just to go big, simple, right? Big words, simple words.
Two tokens have got what's called, any two assets in the world have got what's called a relative value. That means they've got a value compared to each other. And I can make this as simply as a TV versus a McDonald's meal, right? What's the relative value of a TV to a McDonald's meal? Maybe it's 30x, right? A TV costs you 30 times what it costs to buy a McDonald's meal. So the relative value between those two objects is 30x, right? Liquidity pools, impermanent loss works on relative value. It's the value between the two assets that are inside that liquidity pool. So for example, if I have a liquidity pool that's 50% Ethereum and 50% Bitcoin, the value of my Bitcoin stays the same, but the value of my Ethereum drops by 50%. Now, let's think about this mechanically. Liquidity pools are where people come to trade tokens. Ethereum's going down in value. What does that mean? People are using Ethereum to buy other stuff. They're selling Ethereum. I don't want my Ethereum anymore. It's going down, right? Mechanically in the liquidity pool, that means people are depositing Ethereum and taking out Bitcoin. which means your Ethereum and Bitcoin pile is now growing in Ethereum and shrinking in Bitcoin, right? You're gaining the token that's losing value. And that's the easiest way to think about impermanence loss, is you're gaining the token that's losing value.
Yep.
Now there's a lot of ways to manage impermanent risk. Impermanent loss, isn't actually a loss. I don't like the name impermanent loss. You can have impermanent gain. It does work in both directions. It's not just a loss. It can be a gain.
Sorry, I don't want to break your thought up. Go ahead, sorry.
I'm just saying it can be a gain. So impermanent risk overall can be used as a hedging tactic, right? You have Bitcoin regardless. You have Ethereum regardless. I don't really care if I've got more Bitcoin or more Ethereum. So I'm going to put them into a liquidity pool so I can earn a flat yield. And then essentially, no matter what happens, I'm either getting more Bitcoin or more Ethereum, but I'm happy to hold both regardless.
Yeah.
Right? That's the perfect situation to use a liquidity pool without having to worry too much about risks, right? You're like, either way, I'm going to be holding these tokens. Let's get a return on them while I hold these tokens.
Yeah. So 2 observations. You want to hold tokens that you really like, supply liquidity to, because you know the ups and downs will come and go. But 2, I just thought about this metaphor. Would you say it is impermanent loss is somewhat like inflation, where you are getting more of a devalued asset? Would that be something?
Yeah, I don't think that's. I think the best way to think about it is more as like a shopkeeper. I think is the best way to think about impermanent loss, right? When I'm in a liquidity pool, I'm now the shopkeeper for these tokens, right? So I'm a shopkeeper for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Customers come to me and they either buy Bitcoin or Ethereum off me, right? If they buy more Bitcoin off me, what's happening to the stock in my shop? Well, customers are giving me Bitcoin in exchange for my stock of Ethereum. So I'm losing Ethereum stock and I'm gaining Bitcoin stock, right? And vice versa is true. If Ethereum's going up, people are buying Ethereum off me. So I'm losing Ethereum stock and I'm gaining Bitcoin stock, right? So I think the simplest way to think about it is when you enter a liquidity pool, you are now a shopkeeper between these 2 tokens, where customers come to you to swap between them.
Yeah. Good deal. So when we're talking about VyFi here, and let's take it back. I want to look at this.
Yeah, Luna had a lot of problems, not just the 20%. Their entire arbitrage mechanism was wrecked.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, Jay Crypto Minded. Well, he has good insights anyway too. Yeah, can you explain this one? Luna was giving 20%, which isn't sustainable. People lost a lot.
Yeah, there's essentially you can't just inflate tokens forever. I think is the easiest way to answer that. You know, the same thing. You can't just print money forever unless you're the US, apparently, because
the US will do that.
Yeah, the US
will absolutely do that.
And also, to what Jay Crypto said, the problem is the risk isn't worth sometimes the risk isn't worth the APR. Absolutely, Jay Crypto Minded. Sometimes the risk isn't worth the APR, and that's your job as a trader to determine what risks are worth the APRs. And sometimes, as I said, you can have impermanence gain, right? An example of that would be, let's say you're an art of VyFi, and VyFi goes up by 20%. That means people are coming off you to buy your VyFi as a shopkeeper and give you Cardano. So your effective portfolio value is increasing in that circumstance, right? So in that circumstance, you already bought that one. Go for a new one. Unless you want to sell it, of course.
No, I want to get up to like where I make 1 VyFi a day.
Beautiful. Well, there's 2 ways to do it. You can either supply liquidity or buy the LPs off the market. Both are completely valid ways of doing it. But have a look at a fun one. So just exit that for a moment. You can do that if you go to add liquidity, right? This one will do it for you quickly as well. Select token. And see how you have your X VyFi LP that you bought before? Yeah, buy that. Put that in. Max that out. Right? And supply to the L2 LP. So this will put you into the L2 LP now.
Oh, I see what you just, I see this is what we talked about last time.
Yeah.
I need to put more ADA in here.
Look at that. So now you're in the L2 LP. Now the L2 LP, once you've done that transaction, go back to home for me, please. The L2 LP, and type in X VyFi in search pools just to make your life a little quicker. Because that's the L2 LP you just went into. So it's the bottom one. So if you go to APR on the L2 LP, you'll see that the APR on the L2 LP is made up of two parts, or multiple parts actually. Hover over the toggle over the info. So you've got the APR that's being delivered to you from the L1 LP, right? So that's the farm that you get for holding that LP that you had in your wallet already. You know, that 0.05 that you're earning. That is still going to be given to you because in that L2 LP, you've got the L1 LP. So you're still getting that. No, it's not a US-based project, Australian. So you're still getting that farm delivered to you, right? Then you've got VyFi.
No, where'd he go?
Bro.
Yo, no lie, this looks like Martian to me. This looks like Martian handwriting to me.
Yo. But he was explaining it like a champ, though.
Yo, dude, yeah. I'm just so glad I nailed the LP discussion. I was like, let me really. I was like, right, Steven, please tell me I was right because I spent a lot of time trying to study this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's our boy. Hold on. There he is.
I died. I'm sorry, guys.
No.
So that's getting your farm from the L1 LP, its own farm from the L2 LP, and then it's going to be getting the provider fees, which are essentially the fees that are the provider fees are the fees that are being earned from the trades that are taking place in the pool. But it's earning two sets of provider fees, right? Because the L1 LP is earning fees because that's being traded. And the L2 LP is earning fees because that's also being traded.
Okay. I just told Ethan, I was like, no lie, this looks like Martian gibberish to me. But okay, let me see if I can make sense of it. That first line right there, 60%, that's how I'm making money. The second line, 46%, that's how I'm making money also, plus.
Yep.
And then the third one is just, that doesn't matter, 7 days. And then the provider fees, that's how I'm making money too. That's a plus.
Yes, absolutely.
3 of those lines.
All four of them are making money. So you've got two sets of farms. You're earning farms from the layer 1 LP and farms for the layer 2 LP. And then you're earning fees from the layer 1 LP and provider fees from the layer 2 LP. Right? So you're earning 4 sets of earnings from the 1 LP token.
Well, this is why I wanted to get into a little bit of the discussion of where the market is and a little bit of impermanent losses, because at the bottom of the market, you don't only suffer if the coin drops, you suffer losses. I think more than normal because you're then just holding a coin because of the LP liquidity.
You actually suffer less losses, actually, not more.
Oh, really?
Your losses are hedged by 50% when you put them inside.
Oh, that's right. Of course. Yes.
Right. So you're losing half the dollar value of the size of the portfolio than if you held the same size outright in that token.
However, both coins will most likely drop in value if it's a whole market tank.
And remember, though, that impermanent loss is based on relative value of the assets inside the liquidity pool. It's not based on the dollar value of the assets.
Right. It's the two. It's the pair. It's between the pair.
So in the circumstance of, let's say let's say you had Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they both drop 50%, your actual ratio in the liquidity pool doesn't change. You've got the exact same amount of both tokens because their relative value is identical as it was before. Right? They're both 50% cheaper.
My other point is that if it both raise, you're making money that way too. Just the value of the token is raising as well. So that's really three ways to make money here. Or sorry, 5 ways. Those 4 lines, then the 5.
And I'll try to make this as simple as possible for you, particularly mandatory myocarditis, right? I provide liquidity into a layer 1 liquidity pool by providing 2 tokens, right? I'm now a bit of a degen, and we've, for the first time in crypto, allow people to make layer 2 liquidity. So I take that layer 1 liquidity pool token, I match it with Cardano, which doubles the size of your investment, right? You put in, let's say, $100. and now you've got, let's say, $1,000. Now you need to add another 100 to get into the layer 2 LP, right? As a result of that, we're going to give you a boosted farm, and on top of giving you a boosted farm, you're now earning an extra set of trading fees, right? And you've also changed your LP structure, and there you are. So see how now you've got essentially, for adding it into the layer 2 LP, you went from 0.05 to 0.07.
That's something I wanted to highlight there too. Yeah, that's absolutely. So looks like Papa's going shopping. So I'm gonna. Looks like this is something that I really want to get into, especially if I think this is the bottom of the market, and I think we're going up. So
we've got a lot of farms. We've got 54 farms available at the moment.
Okay, good.
Right, so you've got a lot of options with a lot of tokens to earn. The farms are updated every 2 weeks. It's on the 16th of every month and on the 1st of every month. So that's when we do our farming sets, and we update them every 2 weeks. And that's going to be based on a mixture of volume and TVL in our platform.
Love it.
And I just want to say, we're really proud of how we've gone. We've got over 10 million in TVL in the first 2 weeks of launch. We only launched farms yesterday. Yesterday was our first day of farming. Or 2 days ago, sorry, was the first day of farming. And we're getting 600K plus a day in volume, right? Like compared to MinSwap right now, that's fairly small, but as a starting point, I mean, that's higher volume than Muesli gets on a daily basis.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we all got to start somewhere, and this is certainly some very advanced stuff here, guys. Rewatch this section, guys. I think this is something that is very interesting. I remember, and look at the last one too, because it was just coming out. Like Steven was working on that then, and now it's out and it's working. So I'm glad. Congratulations, man. This is a milestone. This is a long time getting here. So very big congratulations to you and your team. So congrats, guys.
And just quickly, we've got heaps coming. So we're not resting on our laurels or anything like that. Our whole aim is now to onboard as many projects as we can to our decks. We've got our auto harvesters coming, which essentially that entire farming process that we've talked about, and we've talked about our auto harvesters before, we're going to be automating that entire process for users.
So absolutely, dude. Don't think I forgot about that one. That's that neural net. That freaking bro. I'm all about AI, dude. That's what I'm. That's been a year. I've been waiting on that, dude. That's been a year.
So we've started work on that now.
Awesome.
So all these things are coming, right? And Crypto Crow, I don't know if I'll talk with Becca. Becca is, sorry, I get distracted by the people writing. I don't know if I'll talk with Becca. Becca's a bit of a Crypto Crow. I thought you were talking about Becca himself, the guy that's a bit of a dick. Yeah. Crypto. I actually, funny you should say that. I'm hopefully talking to Crypto Crow today. So
fantastic.
That's a little bit of alpha. And yes, the VyFi tokens were pre-minted. Just to answer those questions.
Awesome.
Now, so essentially we've got heaps of stuff coming, right? Most immediately, we've also got LP vaults coming for small projects. So that means that you'll be able to earn the small projects tokens by staking LP tokens. So actually, if you just quickly go to vaults and then just select LP. See how you got NFT token and LP?
Let me get you up here.
All right. Across the top, NFT token LP. Yeah. So at the moment we've got three LP vaults. In the next month, that's going to be growing to about 20 to 25, because we're going to be adding essentially for any liquidity pool in our decks, if it doesn't have a farm where it's earning VyFi, our philosophy is it should have an LP vault. Right. So if you're not earning farm non-custodially, you should be able to earn at least just that project's token through an LP vault. And we're going to be launching all of those in the next month. So we're currently in token collection mode.
Awesome. That's good. Building, making connections, making relationships there. Love it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. One thing I want to do before I ask Steven, come to some final questions here. Hold on.
I love that picture.
I got to bring this on. We're going to give away one Naru here. Any plans on having Yummy on the pools?
We are definitely trying. I'll tell you what.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
If you know anyone at Yumi, definitely hit them towards me, because we've been trying to We've been trying to get them on for a year.
Yeah, well, finally get some utility there. So I
Yep,
don't know.
right.
I'm just so salty about that project, man. I don't know. Guys, we're gonna thank Steven. Steven, while I'm gonna be drawing this picture, let me think of what I'm gonna be drawing first. Okay. Yeah. I need you to tell us what is the best way we could get involved with VyFi. And we're gonna start this Pictionary right now. You tell me.
Yeah, so the best way to get involved with VyFi is to just follow us on any of our socials, jump into our Discord or our Telegram, and come in and say g'day, and ask us any questions that you may have. Everything is live, so if you just want to go in, just go to app.vyfi.io and start playing around with the system. And once you've played around with the system, I assure you, you'll start to understand it yourself. The thing about DeFi is that it's a tactile sport, right? You have to do it to learn how to do it. You can't just watch it and read it and then think you know what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So certainly,
it's a cowboy riding a horse.
It's a cowboy riding a horse.
Sorry, Steven, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I swept it tonight, though. I'll take it, man. I'll take it.
Yeah, no, good work.
Love it. Love it. Who are you going to give this to?
Dang. Now I feel bad because now I totally interrupted Steven in the middle of what he was talking
No,
about. I got to give it to my dog.
Don't feel bad.
Mandatory myocarditis.
Yeah, he got it. He deserves it for sure. He deserves it for sure.
Yeah,
no, guys, if you guys didn't know, so if you guys heard, it is to the Discord. Get involved in the community. Play around with the deck. Start getting involved with what they're doing here. You want to finish your thought here?
Yeah, look, we've just got heaps of new systems that we're bringing to crypto, right? Non-custodial LP farming is one of them. We've got ourselves our bar. We're introducing our auto harvesters, which is a first in Cardano. We're doing a lot of original things, all in a way designed to make the price of VyFi and the experience of farming on VyFi more sustainable. That's the core concept of why we designed it this way. Eternal is the best to use, J Crypto Minded. Eternal or Nami are the two easiest, always. And with that focus in mind, I think that we are well on our way in successfully implementing these mechanisms that will allow us to build a sustainable DEX that will be able to provide farm for 20 years into the future, right? And that was my entire point when designing this system. I looked at it and I'm like, how can I design a DEX that can succinctly and consistently provide farm for 20 plus years?
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
And that's where this entire idea came from in the first place.
Dude, you are certainly building what is going to be the future. I mean, like all of this is revolutionary. When we're excited to see a lot more from you and VyFi. Guys, thank you so much. Give Steven and Warden a big thank you for being on the show, being on the channel. Really appreciate you guys. And of course, thank you to everyone in the chat room for making this a fun live, and glad to be back, and hopefully we'll be doing more of these soon. I think I'm going to expand a little bit on Cardano, maybe NFTs and stuff like that, but we'll see what will happen. Let's see this for the future. Certainly building, certainly not leaving anytime soon crypto. Anyways, guys, thanks so much, and we'll see you guys in the next